This next question, I'm not sure you're going to be able to answer too specifically because I know you don't really watch AEW, but Alex says, hello guys, hey Shane, I'm your biggest fan from Greece. I want to ask you your opinion on the usage of blood in AEW in the year 2023. And who, in your opinion, I'll ask the second one later, but blood in AEW in 2023 or maybe blood in 2023, where do you stand on it?
Oh, it's again how the world has changed, right? I mean, it's the whole pandemic and just more cognizance and awareness in the public's eye. Um,
I've never asked you this, Shane. Did you ever worry because you've done it, so many other people have done it, ECW territories and stuff like that. When you were more aware of bloodborne diseases, AIDS, hepatitis, etc., were you more reticent to bleed in matches?
Well, absolutely. I was always reticent to, only because it just it seemed to me like such a archaic notion. The fans had a pretty good idea for most of my career. It's been a publicly stated thing by the WWE that it's a work, right? So, well, if it's a work, then why do you want to take a razor blade and cut my face with it? I was the only time I was for it was whenever again, like I talked about in last episode. Or was it early this episode with the false finishes and the finishing moves? The same thing with blood. Only if it's going to elevate the match. Only if there's you've had this year and a half run, say with Taz, and all these things have happened, and now we need something more just to push it over that apex. Only then, and only with guys that I would trust. Today, ever since there was the one Canadian wrestler, Hannibal, that contracted hepatitis, which is an incredibly serious medical condition, can kill you. So yeah, I would think today that first of all, anybody working for your company, whether it's done intentionally or it's hard way, and with what we do, people get busted open quite a bit. And not like on a nightly basis or something, but certainly enough. So I think it's incumbent again on those protections I just talked about in the last question. That if you're going to hire Shane Douglas to work in your ring and inside the ring, then I should be tested before periodically or whatever to make sure that I'm not carrying some kind of bloodborne disease. And just in general, I just think today it's unnecessary, right? There's places for it, but if with a whole bunch of asterisks, everybody in that dressing room has been tested multiple times, and that doesn't mean they couldn't pick something up last night or whatever. But put every protection in place, and only done when it's cleared with the company. And let's face it, today I think there's enough other ways that we can get around doing that. It just seems so yesteryear, right, to me. But again, there are times when it does elevate the angle. And I know there are some guys that are dead set. If somebody gets busted open, they get right out of the ring, and I can understand why. It's a different world, just another way, right? I mean, it's the page keeps turning, and then the world keeps changing. It's I think it's just smart for us to take every precaution we can to protect the talent as much as we can without wrapping them in bubble wrap. So, there's a place for it. Let's say they have a WrestleMania coming up. They know James and I are going to be wrestling, and we've had all this time put into this build up and everything else. Well, neither of us should walk into that ring not knowing if the other one's not clean or may have picked something up. So I think there's ways to put protections in that greatly mitigate the opportunity that you could pass something on to somebody else. But I just think like the old days, everybody was just bleeding every single match. It didn't mean anything at that point. And I think that with the protections in place and protections being that the guys are tested and everybody knows, and and it's the right place for it, not just hey, let's do it because.
Alex here mentioned AEW. I couldn't quite I don't know why I couldn't think of this, but I'm suspecting he mentioned, because there's obviously for AEW this last month quite a few death matches or, hardcore matches with barbed wire or glass or whatever it is involved. But there was the big one, Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Swerve bleeds a gusher. He's on his hands and knees, and then Adam Page gets under him as the blood drips down and drinks his blood.
Yeah.
And that was really the big thing there. So I think that's the most extreme example of blood in 2023.
Yeah, and I would give all the gold on the planet to have my mother back. I don't want my mother's blood in my mouth, and I'm sure she wouldn't want my blood in her mouth. Each of us has our own things that we've done to try to get over in the ring. I would dare say that in this day and age, certainly post-pandemic, but even prior, that the idea of putting somebody else's blood in your mouth is just pretty outlandish. It's let's just put it this way: I wouldn't do it.